Hi, my name is Shiny Zeni, but you can just call me Zeni. Some of you may know me as a world-class Super Metroid speedrunner. I won't take too much of your time with introductions here, but you may have seen videos on my channel or on my stream where I talk about the demanding aspects of Super Metroid as a speed game. Most of the top runners agree that currently at this time, playing on a CRT is going to provide the best experience. However, there are some situations where a person isn't able to use a CRT. Maybe they don't have space for one in their room or home. Or maybe there are none available for good prices or in good condition in their area. Modern displays are much more versatile and more readily available for most people. I was approached by Westinghouse recently and asked if I would give my impressions on their monitors from my perspective as a Super Metroid speedrunner. This video was sponsored by them in the sense that they sent me these displays for free. So thank you, Westinghouse. Today, I'm going to be giving my impressions on the Westinghouse 15.6-inch Full HD portable monitor. Mainly, I'm going to be focusing on ease of setup, compatibility, responsiveness in terms of input lag specifically, and motion blur or motion clarity. When I have traveled to Games Done Quick in the past to perform at their events, I have been underwhelmed by the monitors that they provided in their practice rooms. It was a great experience at the event, but it was hard to feel like I was playing as well as I could. They weren't horrible monitors, but I wouldn't call them good either. If this portable monitor performs well, maybe I'll consider taking it with me in the future. It is portable after all. Alright, so I have the monitor in its box here, and then in the background you can see my desk with my CRT. Here's how it compares in size. And essentially I'm just going to unbox it and set it up, and we'll see how it performs. Alright, so this isn't really going to be scripted or anything per se. I'm just going to open this up here, and I will edit the video down for easier, better viewing. Comes with a cover, so that's nice. I mean, I guess I would expect that out of a portable monitor, right? Power supply. Looks like it's USB-C. I think that's an HDMI cable. And a USB-C cable. Okay, interesting. Here it is. So we take this cover off. Oh, I had it upside down. Remove the monitor from its plastic here. It's pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. All right, so we have mini HDMI, USB-C, and then USB-C for power as well. And then on the other side here, we have a power button, menu switch, and a headphone jack. Also comes with this protective cover case thing, which can be used for standing it up as well. On the back, the monitor, there's this ridge here, which I think is at least somewhat related to this. So anyway, this is this magnetically attaches here, so that's nice. And then what you can do is like that. Hold it up. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty nice. Plug this in here. And yep, so it just turns on. No signal. All right, so from here, what we're going to do, the first thing I'm going to do here actually is I have this cool device that I got. It's called a time sleuth. And this is actually used specifically to measure the lag, like the input lag on a display. Looks like the screen does automatically turn off for power saving, so that's good. But yeah, the way that the time sleuth works, essentially, you just plug in HDMI here, and then it will show up on the display. And right now, the time sleuth is set to 1080p 60 Hz. And the way that this is measured is this device sends this signal to the screen, and then there's a sensor here on the back. What you do is you put the sensor up to the screen, and you want to measure at the top, the middle, and the bottom of the screen. So I'm just going to put this here. So at 1080p, 60 hertz, top of the screen, we're seeing 4 millisecond, which is actually pretty good. Middle of the screen, sitting at 12.7, 12.8. The bottom of the screen, just over 20. So yeah, that's not too bad as far as that goes. The next thing we're going to do is I'm going to plug in my RetroTink 4K to this display. For those of you unfamiliar, when you're using retro games, like on a Super Nintendo, for example, you do need an upscaler a lot of the time for them to be able to be displayed on a modern display. A lot of modern displays either don't have the inputs, like this one only has digital inputs, for example, or they, even if they do have analog inputs, sometimes they just won't recognize the resolution of the really old consoles. So a lot of the time you do need some sort of an upscaler. I have a RetroTink 4K. That is pretty much the top of the line device for upscaling at this time. You can get away with, lower tier upscalers. In regards to the picture quality and the latency on them, that's going to vary for a number of reasons. And we don't need to get into the nitty gritty of that. But I'm going to be testing this today with, again, my RetroTink 4K. Which is outputting at 1080p currently. In terms of responsiveness, the display feels alright. I can definitely tell that there is a little bit of input lag. The lag tester shows somewhere between 1 and 2 frames depending on what part of the screen that you're looking at. Also, depending on what upscaler you were using and how efficiently it can do the upscaling process, you may have an additional frame or so. Here you'll notice that I missed this jump a few times. That is directly related to the responsiveness of the input lag. The monitor is definitely still usable, but in terms of input lag, it would take some adjustment to get used to. This is nothing new for people moving from CRT to LCD. This jump here that I'm missing over and over is a frame-perfect jump. So that means if you're 1 frame late, you fall into the water. This second jump, the wall jump after collecting the missile pack, is a 2 frame window. And just for comparison's sake, here's my performance at these same jumps while using my CRT to play. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes frame advancing here to show you the discrepancy between the monitors. If you look at the top left of the screen, you can see the info HUD, including the different types of ammunition that can be selected. The bottom screen is the CRT, which has instant response, while the top screen is a Westinghouse portable LCD, which does have at least 1 to 2 frames of input lag. On frame 0, you can see that no buttons have been pressed and nothing is highlighted. However, when I advance 1 frame, you can see that the X button is being pressed. On the bottom, you can see that it is fully illuminated. On the top, it's a little bit dim. When I advance one more frame, the top screen becomes more fully illuminated. Moving ahead here, when the button is pressed again, you can see that just the top part of the super missile is illuminated on the CRT, while the top part of the missile is not illuminated on the CRT. This is because CRTs draw from top to bottom. So what you're witnessing is that the top of the screen has updated, while the rest of the screen has not. A CRT screen takes 16.6 milliseconds to fully refresh. Note that the Westinghouse portable LCD shows no change on this frame. On the next frame, you can see that the super missile is fully illuminated on the CRT while the missile is fully deselected. However, the LCD shows both as selected on this frame. And then finally, on the third frame, the LCD has caught up. Moving ahead again, on the third item switch, on frame 0, the supers are still fully selected. On frame 1, the CRT is showing the button is being pressed, with the power bomb fully illuminated. No change on the LCD. On frame 2, the LCD has begun to update. And on frame 3, the LCD is fully illuminated. Another issue that you're going to run into with LCD displays is motion blur. This is hard to show with an off-screen camera. I did my best here, but it's not really going to illustrate the results very well. A CRT has very clear visuals, while an LCD display definitely has some blur to it when running back and forth. So all in all, this is a pretty nice display for $100. I wouldn't switch to one as my daily driver off of a CRT, but I'll definitely consider taking it with me if I'm ever able to go to Games Done Quick again. If nothing else, just to see how it compares to the monitors that they have in the practice room. I'll also leave a link in the description below for you to purchase one for yourself if you would like. Thanks for watching.